Good evening, internets. It's me, DP Knudten, for another exciting edition of BOOKWARD BOUND. 301 days from I should really do this to done. And what is that done? It's the creation of a brand new book by January 1st, 2021. The final files, the final press-ready files, will be ready on that day for uploading to Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing platform of a brand new book, which you've already seen the cover art for. It looks a little something like that. Nonfiction Brand, Discovering, Crafting, and Communicating the Completely True, Completely You brand you already are. And I'm going to have that book done and ready to go by January 1st of the coming year. How am I going to be able to do that? Well, I'm going to be down here every night, as I have been for, I'm going to guess, 97 days now. 97 consecutive days, coming down typically about this time, 8:30-ish or 8 p.m., 8:30, something like that, Central Daylight Time here in the U.S. of A. I'm located in Madison, Wisconsin, or just outside Madison, Wisconsin, and that's UTC -6 if you're watching internationally. Thank you, by the way, if you are in fact watching internationally. That said, I'm going to be writing this book, and how am I going to do it? Well, I'm going to be doing it with your help. And before I get too far along, I want to open up Restream Chat, which is an application that I use via Restream.io, the streaming service that I'm using to take this live stream through to YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitch. So you can watch from any of those venues or those channels for free, and you can ask me questions. You can just plain say hello. You can do whatever you want simply by typing into the comment box on this live stream, and I'll be able to see those questions or those comments, and I'll respond appropriately, or, because it's me, probably a little bit inappropriately. That's the way I roll. Sorry. So anyway, I'm going to be writing this book, and I'm doing it in real time, in real life, right now, by going over to Scrivener, which is the application I'm using right here. Scrivener is a cross-platform tool. It works with macOS, iOS, Linux, and Windows, I believe, and it's used by a lot of professional writers to write book-length books. I guess that's the best way to refer to them, as book-length books. And I certainly am doing that right now, and you can see right here that this is the window in which you write, and then over here is the various chapters or sections of the book. And so I'm going all the way back to the title page up here because I need to put the title in. And what is the name of this book? It's called Nonfiction Brand, Discovering, Crafting, and Communicating the, but no cap T. Oh, I'm going to have to go back. Oh, I hate it when it does autocorrect. Completely true. Completely you brand, long dash or M dash. And then you already are. And so that, yeah, so collaborator publications, I don't need to have that in there twice. Why is that in there twice? Edit image. CC public full master, lock pixels, horizontal. Bingo. DP Knudten. And just leave it like that. All right. Except I think I might take this out of bold. Completely true, completely you brand, URER, DP Canon. All right, so that's my title page. I've got a copyright page here, Discovering, Crafting, Computing. You already are, blah, blah, blah. bunch of boilerplate. I need ISBN numbers, which will be assigned when I get closer to uploading this to Kindle Direct Publishing. And Library of Congress number. Did I have that in my first book? I do not recall. No, I think I just had an ISBN. All right. We're going to leave that like that. Okay, so that's looking cool. Dedication. Daisy, my daughters, of whom I am so immensely proud. Thank God you take after your mother. Ha ha, everyone laughs when I'm dead. And they'll go, my dad was, he was a pain in the ass, but I loved him. And anyway, posterity. That's one of the reasons you write a book, right? So that there's someone to, in posterity, to pay attention to you. Yeah, right? I hope. All right, so what am I working on? All right, green flags over here indicate these sections are done, at least until I get into the final edit stage. The red ones mean I haven't written anything about them. And then blue ones are, it's pretty much done, but it hasn't been final edited yet. I think I need to pay attention to this one. Roger Wakefield. All right, I think I have this all done. Okay, so part of my book is going to be doing pull quotes from my podcast, Nonfiction Brand, where I have a lot of guests on. And one of those guests, who I'm editing his podcast session tomorrow for premiering the first of 2 episodes on Monday. And it's with a guy named Roger Wakefield. And this whole section is about Roger. So I'm not going to touch this because I'll be going through this whole section, or I'll be going through the podcast recording, and I'll refresh my memory and then go through this tomorrow night. So I'm not going to touch this today. Instead, fiction. Yeah, there's an extra I in there. Dang. The Nonfiction Brand formula. All right, so I want to mirror my biz. What's the difference? Oh, how far is this along? All right, so I need to change this for sure. That convert the icon to yellow for partially written, and ding, 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 ding. So for your question, I love the way this guy thinks. Starting a new business. After selling his first, he's already thought through one of the most important aspects of it, that he's building it for long term, and ideally to sell it. Consequently, any brand equity accrued over his years working in business needs to stay with the business. I mean, comma, why would anyone buy a business that fully depended on his participation? Why would anyone buy a business that fully depended on his participation? Foresee future. However, he's also very interested in building his own personal brand, so that no matter where he works or what he does, all that personal brand equity walks right out the building alongside him. Every single time he leaves the office. Do you see what he's doing there? The dude is literally having his personal brand cake. Literally selling his company brand cake and taking his personal brand slice home with him. So smart. Featured prominently on the Convince and Convert.com website, but he's Also got a fully fleshed out personal brand. Online presence. Got .com. I don't want these links. I do not. I want to remove link. So I'm going to remove the link. Goodbye, link. Say goodbye, link. And jaybaer.com. Each site has distinct similarities and differences. And differences, as they should, because they represent two distinct entities. And the beauty is the second he sells his company is already operating personal branded business ready. His already operating is running. No beat is skipped. No opportunity is lost. And no brand equity is squandered. And no brand equity is squandered through miscommunication or lack of clarity. All right. If you answer your phone, Z Corp first. Immediately. immediately thereafter. Yeah. Okay, so this Jay Baer stuff that I'm writing right now is all influenced by the fact that I had a great podcasting session with him last week. And he's not going to be on the podcast probably for about 6 weeks or so because of the schedule and stuff. So I don't want to go too far into this because as I go and I listen back to what we talked about, I'm sure that's going to influence what I include here. But I will make a note. Well, I've already got the note in here about getting a pull quote from Jay Baer on branding his business from the NFB, Nonfiction Brand podcast. So that's a note to myself. I'm actually going to hit that with some highlight so that it's a little bit more obnoxious, which will remind me to actually get that pull quote. And those pull quotes actually work in a really great way to support the book, which supports the podcast, which supports the book, which supports the podcast. Yeah, it's as this mutual admiration society. And it also reinforces the fact that I was able to have a great conversation with someone with the stature of Jay Baer on my podcast. And then he's in the book as well. So it's all strategic, baby. Sorry. I have been accused of being a gross opportunist in the past. And when I've been accused of that, I was like, well, what do you mean by that? If I see a door is ajar, I shouldn't walk through it. If I see money left on the table, I shouldn't take it. And I'm not talking about someone's tips. I'm not stealing tips. But if someone leaves opportunity on the table, why wouldn't I take that opportunity? Why don't, when you see an on-ramp onto a highway that can get you to where you want to go faster, why wouldn't you take it as long as you're not treating people like crap? Well, that's what I'm talking about here. Nonfiction branding and personal branding is really about taking that on-ramp that is sitting in front of you right now and taking advantage of it. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm in my late 50s. According to most people, I should be enjoying my AARP membership and be preparing to move to Florida, God's waiting room. I'm not doing that. I'm all with Gary Vee, who says, just because you're over 40 doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing this stuff. You should be doing it more than the ones who are under 40 because it's opportunity. And that's the whole point. This is such an incredible opportunity. And I actually need to write about that. And so I'm going to go back up here and say, where do I write about this? What is nonfiction branding? The case for personal branding. All right, so I'm going to add a section here. We're calling it a table covered in opportunity. And I need to write that, so I might write that tomorrow or some other day or something. And it really is. And that's where I should put it. Because I want to talk about it early enough in the book. A table covered in opportunity. Yeah. So I'm going to write about that tomorrow or something like that. And I don't want to go on too long tonight. It's a Friday night. I don't feel like doing this. But I did want to get down here and actually write something in my book, which, after all, I got 301 days to get this thing done, and this is day 97, I think. So I need to keep working on this a little bit at a time, one bite of the elephant at a time, so that I will get this done by January 1st, 2021. So far, so good. I mean, one of the cool things about Scrivener is at the bottom of at the bottom of each page, right down here, you can see, right, this page has 0 words on it. Well, let's take a look at this one. This page has 1350 words, 1,350 words. Well, if I do this from title page all the way to the last page, all the way to my bio page, that tells me I've got 25,199 words. And again, I am figuring about 350 words a page. So let's see, this is 2525199 divided by 350 equals 71. Let's call it 72 pages. I've got 72 pages already written, and I've got 203 days left to go. 204 days left to go writing this book. Yay. That means I don't have to kill myself every single night to get this thing done. But I do need to come down here, and I do need to work on it. So thank you for helping me keep myself honest and get my butt down here to actually work on this thing so that I can get this book done. Because it's been in my head for 10, 15, almost 20 years. It's time to get it out of my head and onto the page so that hopefully people can benefit from it. Anyway, that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing these consecutive live streams. As I said, this was number 97, I think, and that means I've got 97, 301 minus 97, 204 left to go. Yowza, before the end of the year, before December 31st, 2020. The next day, I'm uploading the press-ready files. So can I do it? That remains to be seen, but with your help, I will. So thank you very much. I'm DP Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand Podcast. New episodes come out every single Monday, so check that out. I'll be editing Monday's podcast tomorrow, so I'm sure I'm probably going to be writing a section about tomorrow's podcast session, which is all about Roger Wakefield, who went from a plumber whose business was going to go under to, YouTube's most famous expert plumber within 3 years. I mean, the dude's incredible. Had a great conversation with him, and I can't wait to get that podcast in the works and ready for Monday's release. So check that out on Monday, wherever you get your fine podcasts for free. The podcast is called Nonfiction Brand with DP Knudten. So just search for Nonfiction Brand. It's the only one in there. And you'll also recognize my smiling face as well. So thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, theme music, take us on out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.